Hello, hi there. My name is Chris Fair. Welcome to my channel where today, it's Monday, the day after the episode of Happily Ever After 90 Day Fiancé that I watched that we're going to go talk about now. I'm so sorry, but you guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but my dad and is a big boxing fan. And I'm somewhat obsessed with the Paul brothers and their boxing career. I don't want to be. No, I don't want to be, but that is what's happening in my life. And so in order to get the fight from my dad, I had to use my Roku, and I couldn't watch my 90 Day. You couldn't watch it in time to go live for you last night. And so I was a good daughter, spent an hour and a half trying to order this fight for my dad that was absolutely not worth the $50. And if you saw it, it was like Floyd Mayweather, not Merriweather. I love you guys so much. Don't give me ish for that. And one of the Paul brothers, who knows? I'm not quite sure. I mean, listen, they're YouTube people, and you're watching this probably on YouTube right now. And I don't even know those people, but they have like 66 million people. I mean, I know who they are, but like, I don't follow them. And I think they're just like douchey dudes that like got a lot of money and then like want to be like quote unquote entertainers and then like also boxers. But anyway, I am just enjoying my Monday afternoon, and I want to talk to you about this episode. I thought it was a really great episode of 90 Day Fiancé. I really enjoyed it, specifically because, as I've said over and over again, Happily Ever After is not my favorite, and I hate many of the couples where I barely can watch. Like Libby, I'm talking to you, like your whole family, like none of it. I can barely watch Brandon and Julia. You know, none of it's so boring, and I'm not into it. And but all of that for me is overshadowed by really the work that Natalie and Natalie did. It's really like so funny because we have a bunch, and I'll talk about this, bunch of fake drama, right, with Libby's family who are really coming for their spinoff. Okay, like so dumb, so fake. And like Libby is like throwing drinks at her sister and they're like about to fight or whatever, God bless. But then the intercut of that dinner scene when these two women, Trish and Natalie, are not fighting, but the tension and the hatred is so palpable that it's like jarring and real feeling and engrossing is how I describe all that. So we're going to get into this. I'm so happy to see you guys here. Look at Scorpio. Yes, on Discovery Plus, you can watch on No. Okay, here's the thing. No, I didn't know this. I knew that it was on Discovery Plus, baby boo. I thought it just like was on Sunday. You're telling me that I could watch the whole episode on Friday and this is what's been happening? Whew. Okay, well, no. Listen, learn something new every day. I'm like playing around with my hairline. I want to do it this way. Yeah, that's the better way. No, thank you so much, Scorpio. Lisa's here. Quasi's here. Yay! Hi, Doris. Hi, T Jones. Hi, Mika. Sorry. Mika, I love you so much. I was like reading another comment from like 2017. You had like left me. Okay, let's get in. So Kathleen, God bless you. I want to just also, before I really get into this, be like, if you haven't thumbs up this video yet, if you haven't liked this video, you are going to like this video. And this is an annoying thing that I have to ask for. It's like, what? You know, like anyone has to ask for on YouTube, which is like basically please engage and comment and like and subscribe. Like all those things have to happen. Like people get annoyed if people talk about it, but it's like, I mean, what am I going to do? Not talk about it? It's how anything works in this algorithm, you know? So, really enjoy you, really appreciate you guys, and let's get in. Mike and Natalie. So they are in the wood that they picked up, and now they're like piling it, you know, and it's like they have to do some sort of like crisscross pattern. And it's like Mike and his mom just want Natalie to like go in the fold and be like, sure, whatever, like a Julia. You know, it's like such a pattern of like, these women can just come here and do work. They're happy with it. They're fine. Trish is so of the earth and so obviously not into the relationship, I cannot truly imagine why in good faith Mike has done this to Natalie. Who in their right mind would bring someone that they love, that they just got married to a person's house that did not want you to get married, and your beloved knows that? Okay, so because of that, I'm just like, well, Mike went from like first season when he was in the Ukraine to being like, oh, Mike is like a good guy. You know, he's like, yes, I believe in aliens. But Natalie, don't be so hard on Mike with like you pushing your orthodoxy on him or whatever. Just like, and don't say you don't love him. And he brought you that ring and he's so nice to your mom. Like, I was like, not Team Mike, but Team Mike kind of. And then the second season happens where now Natalie is in America and we're like, well, she's crazy. But Mike, you're a weak little boy. And then now this season, I'm like, Team Natalie. Team Natalie. I want her to have a Yara tongue, honey. You know, like Natalie, during this whole scene with her contour and her highlighter and her big blue eyes, like it's just everything I want. I just was, this is the storyline of the season for me. Like, I don't care about anyone else. Like, I know that there was like truly some fakeness that happened with Natalie. And then like, specifically last season with like, you know, like, why would you do this to me? When she's like literally recording herself having a mental breakdown in the car, drive, you know, like, but however, was that not great TV? And I don't know exactly where the line is, where something is like fake and unwatchable, and maybe fake and absolutely watchable, or maybe fake but also truthful, moments of truth and also heightened. I mean, I don't know where their storyline hits in that specific spectrum, where obviously Libby is like fakey, fake. I just like can't even. And then so is like Brandon and Julia feel fake, but also just boring. Like it's just, wow. Okay, so Trish says, you know, like this is like hard work. And Natalie's like, who usually does it, Trish? Trish is like, oh no, I do it. Glad I could be handy for you, Trish. Well, if you want to be more handy, I have more work in the front. And then Natalie's just like, I love it. Okay, so then this whole Thanksgiving dinner is happening, all right? This whole Thanksgiving nightmare, right? With the meat and the not meat or whatever. And Natalie is making borscht. Borscht, okay? Which is a soup. Not to be confused with gazpacho, but it's confusing because gazpacho is cold. Okay, God bless. Borscht beet soup. Okay. She, I guess, had asked Mike to go get him her vegetables. This is crazy to me. I'm like, why did they make you go get the meat, honey? Like when they were getting that meat, they should have dropped you off at the like farmer's market vegetables aisle of the Ralph's or whatever and been like, here's, honey, $20, get whatever you want. Because then Mike is like, oh, they didn't have parsley. Okay, they didn't have parsley. Here's the next best thing, the thing that is the most equivalent thing. Parsnip. See what I did there? Parsley, parsnip, same thing. Parsley's parsnip. Okay. Natalie's like, what is that? No. Parsley is greens, right? It's greens. You've seen me use it everywhere. I mean, this is Arabic. I can't really do this version of like, I can't do it. Mike, you've seen me. Okay, what she's trying to say is like, no, parsley is not a parsnip. Parsley is an herb that has a very delicate flavor that people just like cut and then put in like things, you know, in a yummy way. I really like parsley, specifically in pastas, also in salads. Parsley is great. Parsnip is a root vegetable, a hard root vegetable. You can mash it. You can't mash parsley. Well, I guess you could put in pesto of it, but like, no, they are not similar. No, they are not similar. How did How do you not know that? Okay. Then at one point, you guys are telling me, she said, I think she wanted celery root or at least celery. They all kissed her butt with, okay. Here's the thing. She said parsley too. So, okay. So she wanted celery and they gave her celery root. I don't know what the problem is. I hold on to, yeah, I hold on to the fact that they should have dropped her off, honey, at the farmer's market, gone to get their meat, let her do whatever she wanted. That's what you do. That's what happens. Parsnip is like a cross between a carrot and a turnip. Honey, she loves a carrot. So, honey, she's cooking, she's chopping, and Mike like starts to flirt with her. And the way that it transpires is that I think he makes a move to grab her lady part, her front lady part. And she keeps remarking about it in front of Trish, like, no, don't grab my vagina. You know, my vagina. Okay, so this part is crazy because you're like, is it the butt? Like, who cares if he like tried to like touch your butt? But like, are you saying that he tried to like put his like whole finger inside you, which is A, crazy, B, then she like has this very loud conversation in front of Mike's mom about it. And Mike's mom is not here for whether Mike has put his finger in his wife's poon poon while she's making this soup. Okay? I mean, that's like what happened. Okay, like, so I need you to like, I mean, I hate to say this, digest that with me, but like, that is like, I want you, okay, that is what happens. She's chopping. He's like, she's like, stop it. I hate it, Trish, when your son, your dirty son tries to put all the time his whole hand in my vagina as I'm cooking. And then it cuts to Mike, who's like, tee hee hee. I know. I just think she's so hot when she's like cooking and chopping carrots. Now here's everything about it. If they're alone, that's hot. No, it's hot. I mean, I wouldn't like do it as I was like all over the fire, like making bacon. Seems like that could be, you know, painful. Cutting is awful, but like, you know, like whatever. Here's something that's fine. If he was just in the kitchen with his mom and his new wife and he gave her a little smack on the butt, that's fine. That's fine. If you know, but here's the thing. It felt like if that really would happen, if he like really put his hand in his vagina, A, that's disgusting, Mike. Also, B, like that's a conversation, that conversation should happen with Mike immediately with Natalie off to the side and not in front of Trish. Because then Trish hears that conversation and then we get the camera that follows Mike out to grill or whatever the hell it is. And then when Mike comes back in, Natalie's like, your mom called me a hooker. But for some reason, we're not privy to that. Like, how is this a whole reality show and this part isn't, why aren't we seeing where the hooker part happened? Like, it feels like Trish, because she hates Natalie so much, made some comment off camera to Natalie because she did not like that Natalie, I don't know, was making her son seem like overly sexual or like, I mean, here's the thing. I'm trying to piece that together. So Natalie is very upset over this thing that we don't get to see, kind of. We are seeing obviously like jabs from Trish. Mike comes in and she's like, you have to defend me. And he's like, my mom didn't say that. Okay. So then they all sit down, honey, and we also meet like Trish's roommate. Okay, I'm not even looking at my notes because I'm just like, I love this so much. Oh, Trish's roommate, Ron, honey. Ron is like a voiceover artist. I mean, just in the middle of like Washington or what, I don't even know how I'm sorry. He's not in Washington, Idaho or whatever, like Montana, Wyoming. I forgot where he lives, Vegas. But that man has a very booming voice. He comes in, he's like, hello. Wow. And he is trying, honey. He knows he's on TV. You know, who knows what the relationship is like Trish and Ron? You tell me. So, I love you guys. So they all sit down to have Natalie's soup. And Natalie's soup, it looks like it's going to be, at one point you're like, well, she poisoned this borscht. She's just those, these people are going to all die. And she's just going to like stay here forever. Like that's what I almost thought was going to happen. And that isn't what happened. They all like the soup. They all like love that. Like, I mean, like Trish is like, oh, you know, whatever, God bless. And then they just start like getting into the turkey, and Mike's mom like emasculates him whether he can, you know, carve a turkey. And then Natalie just also at this time, because she hates Trish so much and she's just like, doesn't quite understand, but also understands the tension and just looks across and looks at Trish, who's just giving her these steely, dirty looks, also just starts laughing, which I kind of get, just being like, but it happens at inopportune times because it happens when Trish hasn't really done anything. But it's like this anxiety that Natalie has because she's just getting so much craziness that she's like, I don't know what's going to happen next with this one. I don't know what he's saying now, you know, like, so it's horrible. And Mike has no penis. That is how I describe it. That's how I describe it. Okay. Tiffany and Ronald. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to, I mean, like, no, honey, I don't know if Mike knows how to carve a turkey, but like Trish knew how to carve that bird. Yeah, Ron liked Natalie, and Natalie knew it. Natalie is just like, all you people are trash. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Oh, welcome. Yeah, I like this part too. So Trish then, in one of her like jabs, is like, well, when am I going to start having a baby? Sorry, when am I going to have a grandchild? You better hurry up. You better, you know, like start because you're old, and knows that about that. And Natalie's like, God, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't want the life you had, which was a poor ass chick single mom, raising a son by yourself, emasculating your son, look who that person turned out to be. No, for my baby, honey, I'm going to make sure that we have like education. We have choices. So I'm going to like work, make sure that that's available to me. Not interpret. But what I am interpreting during this Thanksgiving dinner is that you are trash. I hate you. You hate me. This is done. And also, yeah, this one's done. This is my person. I am just holding on for dear life, honey, to get that green card. I'm going to make my world here, doing cooking videos on YouTube. Maybe, I don't know, maybe doing some procedurals. I don't know. That's my dream for her. You know that. And I feel like Natalie would be good like in like a Law and Order, like organized crime. I would love to see her. Plus, you know that Christopher Maloney has his own spinoff now, and it got a season 2. So I just feel like, and for some reason, there's like a Eastern Mafia-esque, at least there was when I was watching like the first couple of episodes, like arc. And so what I am truly feeling like is, I feel like Natalie would be good as just like a little co-star, guest star. I would love it. Okay, so I feel like you guys are so funny. I love you guys. Okay, so let's move on. Oh no, we already did. Tiffany and Ronald. So Tiffany has to go to an immigration lawyer to talk about the fact that, you know, Ronald's going to have an interview now that Tiffany's dad said that he'll pay for it. You know, like even though he heard that Ronald has a past and the past is horrible, Tiffany's dad is like, well, you were denied a family because I never got the family that I wanted with my parents. And I know I messed you up. So I'm just going to try this for you or whatever. And so I'll give you the money. And Tiffany's like, great. There goes that like way in which I could have gotten out of this. And we're all kind of like that too. Okay. So then she goes to the immigration lawyer, zooms in Ronald, honey. And Ronald is, hello? She's like, Ronald, you're laying down. He's like, oh, God, fuck. Yeah, I am. I'm tired from all the not work I'm doing, all the spending on my bike. I mean, I don't even know. So then Ronald's like, just like, yeah, mate. Takes out like a vape, starts vaping, just like isn't a cloud of smoke. Like this like lawyer is like, okay, so you're gonna this is so true. T. Jones, yeah, Carlos was dreamy. Yeah, he was. I liked him. I was like, look at this lawyer. So he's like, okay, you're going to, be asked the hard questions. You have a rap sheet and let's talk about it. And Ronald's like, okay, all right, wait, well, with this arrest, let me tell you how things work in South Africa. Well, if you're come over for a DUI, I mean, like he just like waxes poetic, and Tiffany's face is just like, fucking hate this asshole. Oh God, this shit. I mean, like you just see her like knowing. But the reason why her dad gave her the money or will, cop to co-signing is the same reason, maybe one of the reasons why she is holding on to this person, because of Daniel, my boy. This person just has a relationship with her son. And I get it, because her son is a little magical boy who you want the best for. And Daniel seems to love him, and Daniel feels loved by him. So because of that specialness, it's hard, right? So we're going to now put up with this like non-adult being like so lackadaisical during the Zoom, where you're just like, you don't know anything. You just don't know anything. And you think you know things like how many he's going to tell an immigration person like how South Africa's judicial system works and why he isn't culpable for anything, and somehow get out of that without any awareness, how it looks literally or figuratively, which is so funny. Like that's the vape thing, what he sees, what we're literally seeing. Like there isn't the concept of like, I'm talking to you right now in the Zoom, I can see myself, like obviously I can see myself. I'm not saying I always put myself together, and you guys know I don't, like, oh, Junebug, sitting in my window. That like, yes, like I don't always put makeup on and everything like that. Yes, that's true. It's because I do this a lot, but I try and look nice. And if you are sure as hell, if I had like an interview in any sort of situation, and every audition like that or meeting that I've had, like I've been cognizant of this box you're seeing and what you see in this box. Like, oh, what's this? What's this? What do I look like? Like you're looking at yourself, which is funny. You can't see yourself when you're already looking at yourself. What an ego, and what a cloud of like cloud of, I don't know, unawareness that you can look at yourself on a Zoom and not really see yourself or see how it comes across. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. Meanwhile, talk about me. Ha ha ha. Thank you so much. It's just like a lip liner. Funny thing is, the relationship with Daniel is superficial. Ronald's a horrible role model and hasn't had to be a real father figure. I know. Now, here's the thing. That is how it feels, because he's not a good role model. I think that he gives love in like an uncle type way, right? Older brother type way. It's not like, it doesn't feel very fatherly. Because you really need like that security, that like wisdom. That's like what a father is, right? Isn't there somewhat of a difference? And I'm not saying that like one is better than the other. I just think that it's badly labeled. And I think that Daniel's like relationship with Ronald is beautiful. And I'm happy that Ronald feeds a part of Daniel. And I think that it's easier from this outside in. But like, I think that I have really connected with Tiffany's insecurities and sort of like wanting something and wishing something, and then like, I don't know, also I see parallels, like I've already said, to very much to Kalani's situation. I think that, Kalani and Tiffany have like all of it in common. All of it. They just fell in love with man boys across the seas and are now dealing with it. Just that one's here, one has 2 babies, and one has 1 baby. But feels an entire, but anyway. So, anyway, Ronald almost seemed like he was trying to act worse than usual. His ego's insane. He's very tone deaf. I agree. Tiffany's stupid to let Daniel get attached. So this is another whole thing, is that Ronald wants to live in South Africa because I think that Ronald knows that he probably would have a hard time trying to make it in America because you have to work. He'd have to work for things without any sort of comfort of like what he knows, his friends back there. And I think that when you get Peter Pan-esque little boy syndromes, like someone like Ronald, the comfort of what they know, why would he leave that? He doesn't want to. Men like that don't want more responsibility, don't want change, don't want to be like confronted by whatever would be like growth or newness, or I'm not saying, moving to America is growth, but he's stuck, obviously. He's stuck in patterns, okay? We all can see this. So there's no part in my mind that truly thinks that Ronald wants to come to America. He has made it clear what he wants. And so, yeah, I think for Tiffany to say that he's self-sabotaging, or perhaps this visa process for him to come to America as a fallback plan that they'll just have to go there, is absolutely true. And the fact that they have not agreed on being together, regardless of where they live, is such a huge symbol of the fact they should not be together. It's shocking. That I get. It's shocking that she's continuing on this journey. That her mom, that her dad, that everyone, I don't know what her friends are. No one's just like, girl, no. Like they can't tell her, I guess. She has no therapist, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. It's really hard. I liked one part of this conversation with Ronald and the immigration lawyer when Ronald's trying to talk himself out of having accountability for one of his arrests, which was drug related, and he used, which I felt was like the Lilo, like Paris Hilton defense of like, oh, it was like I was wearing clothes of a friend's and the drugs were in the friend's clothes, and then I just put the clothes on. Like I'm 89% sure that either Lindsay Lohan or Paris Hilton used that once for like pants. Or was that like Justin Bieber? Like someone was wearing pants of someone, one of their friends. The pants had the drugs. It must have been really loose pants. You couldn't feel it. Oh, that's maybe LOL. Angela. I can't abide Angela anymore. What a character. What a character. But she's absolutely, I mean, I can't do this anymore. This just seems really bad. And her Instagram posts like of recent seem crazy. Albeit funny for me, because I'll tell you that like, yes, I got the same surgery as Angela. I talk about that a lot. Angela right now looks very skinny. And also Angela's wearing blonde extensions, very, very intense blonde extensions. And I'm a little LOLing to myself because I sort of like did the same thing at one point, got really like in my skinniest, got blonde extensions, was living my life. And the fact that Angela did it too, I was just like, oh my God, I am so predictable. Like, is that truly what happened? And I just like want to call myself out for it. Someone posted pics of Angela online smoking. So this is what Angela's thing is. Angela can't be smoking and having her surgery, honey. So now we get to see Angela get a phone call where she's like, my surgery's been called off. I'm so mad. I'm going to go talk to my doctor and give him a Southern charm. And the Southern charm is her going to the doctor and then having this crazy intense scene where it's almost like a power struggle where Angela thinks that she has power. Angela is used to customer service situations where she can go and be like, well, I'm a customer here. My money means something. And if you don't want my business, then blah, 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 you know, but like this is a Beverly Hills surgeon who also could be sued for like malpractice and stuff like that, who also has like her health in his hands and like doesn't need her money, like could do it or not. By the way, like she's not, you know, this whole thing about like whether it's $25,000 or not, I'm not quite sure because obviously the surgeon has now become a guest star on this episode. So is Natasha, honey. This is like arc by arc now. Just like I was talking about Natalie's episodes on Law and Order Organized Crime, like, you know, this guy is getting FaceTime. So like how much she's paying for this surgery, we don't know. Because at this point, she's had, this is like what, her third surgery in one Beverly Hills trip. We're supposed to believe that Angela just has like $100,000 just sitting around after all of the Nigerian trips and like taking care of all them kids, all them grandkids because Scotty was in prison, and who paid for like Scotty's lawyer fees and everything. Or, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know anyone's financial situation, but like, it just seems like, okay, let me think about this. Well, okay. Angela's, maybe her surgeon, maybe her, her stomach surgery. I was like, okay, her vertical gastric sleeve surgery. Maybe that was covered by insurance. Okay. But definitely not the facelift and definitely not the titties. Well, maybe the titties too. Because the titties, I guess, could have been like a back problem thing. But what makes me feel like maybe it wasn't covered by insurance, and I don't know insurance enough, is because these surgeons, these Beverly Hills surgeons, honey, they don't got to take insurance. They don't have to take insurance. They don't. Sometimes. I don't know. So, yeah, so we'll just see. I just like the Southern charm, like her using the Southern charm to just sort of like try and bully the doctor to perform surgery when he knows that she's been smoking, because it's been documented through all the through the past 2 surgeries now that she's just like never stopped, and they've told her to stop, and she's had to like sign things, and there are various medical problems that could happen. And Angela, in her medical field, honey, and she's been a medical working professional her whole life, honey, has never had to think about smoke, and this has never come up. Ugh. Angela in this doctor scene trying to deal and get her way sort of feels like what I would assume Trump would be like in a deal, where he just thinks that he can, but they're like, no, no thanks. Yeah, if you no, I mean, you know, I don't know. It just feels so heavy-handed and so not. You don't have a leg to stand on, Angela. If you want to have this surgery with this surgeon, you can't smoke, and you can do exactly what he says. You abide by his rules. He doesn't abide by your rules. He doesn't care about your money. He's already on this television show. He's making himself look great. You look bananas. Okay, so after this conversation, she gets in this Uber, honey, okay, and they have one shot of this Uber driver. And she smokes in this Uber. And I'm like, you can, what, I don't have, you, what is this? First of all, what is this Uber? Is this not an Uber? Is this like a Vegas Uber? I mean, this is it's so funny because there was a point in my life where I did smoke, right? Mostly like when I was anxious, hi, and when I was drinking, like at night, you know what I'm saying? And so I remember times in which, I can't remember like how it happened, where maybe I would be in an Uber with someone who I could tell the Uber driver smoked, you know, like you can smell. And so you'd be like, do you mind if I have a cigarette, if I roll down the window? And he's like, yeah, because he's so happy because that means he can smoke. And that turns into a Vegas Uber. But this man had a mask on, honey, and this man wasn't smoking. And I don't know if Angela asked if she could just start smoking. She puts her phone on her like shoulder, like a little angel, ha ha ha, but it's Michael, so in her mind, a devil. And she is wearing Okay, she's wearing like a romper top, triangle romper top. Let's just say it's like what looks like a Mrs. Triangle top. Like it's not one that's like made for women. Okay, so she's wearing something else under that. Like she's wearing like her tape. I don't know what is being shown, but some part of her boobies being shown. They're like, you know, uh, fuzzing it out. She calls Michael and she's like, "Well, Michael, you haven't been." I'll do it. I can't. How come my phone won't stay? Oh no! I want to do this for you. Okay, well, grab us. Michael, here, I'll do it. Thanks for asking how I'm doing. I really enjoy, your updates. I really enjoy you taking care of me and making sure I'm fine. Meanwhile, like, there's a Chiron. The producers are like, it's 11 p.m. in Nigeria. And Michael's like, what? I'm so sorry for this accent. What? Angela, what? Whatever. I'm so sorry. And she's like, I had a horrible day, a horrible time. Everything's in pain. And she's trying to get Michael to feel sorry for her. But Michael is mad because he has not wanted one of these surgeries. In Michael's mind, she is spending all this money and not asking him what he wants and what he truly needs, which is her baby, right? But in Angela's mind, she's made that money. And she's made all the money that has been spent on them so far. So whatever she wants is what's going to happen. Michael has to go have a conversation with his auntie. And he's smashing yams. And I mean, what are they putting in those yams? Are you going to tell me that those yams, because it felt like there had to be some cream or butter. And I feel like there's not. Because they smashed those yams so velvety and creamy, and it looked just so soft. And I wish that I could have had a taste. Is there any garlic in there? Like, how do they season it, do you think? I don't think there's milk or cream, right? There could be like some hot water or maybe some other like coconut milk, but there was just a softness to these. I mean, here's the thing. These mashed yams looked like the most velvety mashed potatoes I've ever had. Are you guys like familiar with like Joël Robuchon? Okay, God bless. He's like a French chef. Okay, for sure. And there's many restaurants, Atelier Robuchon. Okay, God bless. I know I'm not the biggest French person, and I know I'm saying that like horribly, but very famous dish in one of his that they do well in one of his Vegas restaurants is like his mashed potatoes, and his mashed potatoes are like the most velvety things because it's like literally like 1-to-1 butter. And there's like 3 processes of you like straining the potatoes through different sieves to like really, I mean, what's the word? Just like velvetize. And I mean, in this bucket, honey, with a little manpower and maybe a couple of that Michael drops of sweat, I don't know, for a little salty flavors because he's sweating. He got those yams really, really good to a point where like, I know Natalie was like, I would have some of those yams, like those yams look good. Here's the thing. It's very important for Michael and Michael's family for Michael to have a child. And that's what they've been really, really into. And it's been a problem because Angela's old. And so now the fact that she keeps spending money on the non-child and herself, they feel upset. But the truth is, that is Michael's priority. And I think that as a couple, they should be working towards something. But at the same time, how in God's name are you going to like put your whole responsibility of paying for something that you want on someone else? I would really like to know, and a big part of the story is if Michael and Angela have decided on having this baby and how much money that would be, which let's just say it's $25,000, which I don't know if that's true. Okay, I think it's gonna be more than that. But let's just say it's the same as the surgery of the facelift because it felt that way, I want to know how much money Michael has saved up. Now you can be like, well, obviously Michael is not going to be able to save as much money as Angela because he lives in Nigeria, and of course, and I know that, obviously. But I need to know that like these men are putting their work into tangible things and storing that. And I mean, like, I've always said this. Like, this is how I felt about whether Asuelu, like, didn't give any money to Kalani for the diapers and seasons ago. This is how I feel about Ronald. You know, like, this is how I feel. This is how I'm going to feel about Michael. He also has to take some responsibility for the one thing that he wants, which is a baby. If he's like, look, Angela, we need $25,000. I've saved $1,000. So it makes me really, really sad that you are spending all this money on this surgery. I think that there would be like a real conversation there. But it feels more like, well, when we got married, we said that we would share finances and she keeps spending this money. And it's like, yeah, it's her money. Yeah. Well, what are you doing, Michael? Angela financially supports Michael. I doubt he has anything, and that's a good point. He wants the baby, he needs to pay. Yeah, some amount that works for them. Angela doesn't allow him to work. You know, if this is what's happening, then I mean, then here's the thing. Michael has to understand what that means. If someone is not allowing you to work, and I mean this if you're a man or a female, it does not make a difference. If your significant other, first of all, it's not allowing you to do anything. That's suspect number one. Not allowing you to do blank is a weird thing. Okay. Now let's just say a situation where there's young kids involved and you're like, look, significant other one, I make more money than you would at this point, or I don't know, we need someone to raise these kids or whatever. That's a different situation. That's not maybe not allowing someone to work, but being like, it would really behoove our family unit if you didn't work, and there's a conversation that has. And the other person, however, in that moment is working, right? I mean, I guess everyone's situation. So this dynamic I'm talking about, the person staying home with the kids is working. And what we have, unfortunately, in society is an ununderstood balance of homework to like work outside in the office. That's what happens to a lot of people, especially obviously females. When divorce happens, you know, in that situation, I think that it's always good for anyone to have their own means and the means to make means. So you have to have some means and the ability to make means. And if you completely give that up for an undue period of time, where you, like in this situation, if this is true, that Angela's not allowing Michael to work, there is no reason why Michael doesn't work. He's not raising kids. Maybe, and I think in this situation, maybe Angela's like, I don't want you to work because I want you to be by my phone all the time for me to pick up or whatever. And if that is it, then you have to understand you are making a choice, a compromise. I mean, we're all adults here. No, Angela, I'm a man that needs my own security, and work feeds my soul. And no, I have a career here. It is how I feel confident. And I'm also, I want to provide for you. And when I get there, I want to have a resume so I can hit the ground running. I mean, you know, all of these things. If you're not saying that, if you're not doing that, then I guess you really don't want that baby. However, I'm not going to say that she doesn't abuse him. It's just that at the same time, you know, I think that it's a really messy situation, and I want, you know, everyone to hopefully be doing what makes them happy and not in a relationship that doesn't make them happy. You know, I don't have to tell you. Wouldn't be for me. Okay, so Libby and Andre. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk. I just hate Libby and Andre. I hate them. And I'm so mad because now I can't really enjoy how hot Andre is, truly, except sometimes. Only when the camera's focused only on him in shots and I don't have to see anyone else. Not Charlie's fugly wife, not Chuck's hideous, hideous, hideous face and body. I don't want to see any of it. I will just tell you the most important parts of this were Libby and Andre go to a boat party that the dad's throwing. And they get there and Libby's like, party just got here. And like one of her sisters is like, actually, the party started a long time ago. You're late, which I thought was funny, even though it was scripted. And then the whole thing is like, suddenly we all have to go somewhere together for a family trip that's not scripted and not put together by producers. We all have to go in the same RV for some reason. And yeah, we're going to have a pandemic real family get together just because my dad might die soon. And if he's not going to die soon, he will when all of us horrible anti-maskers get in front of him, honey, and cough all over him. Let's kill that Papa or whatever, I just love it. So then that obviously is not a good idea. And all the kids get upset, but, yelling at each other or whatever. And Libby is having to like defend Andre. But, okay, I hate her sisters. There is the ugly sister and there's like the prettier sister, okay? Does that mean you know what I'm talking about? By the way, they've all gotten plastic surgery. But right now in life, there's like the one that's like not as pretty and there's the one that's like prettier. They're all on OnlyFans, which makes me so happy because I can keep talking about it, but also, and their sickle feet, but also, I love the idea of like Chuck is being like, we got to go to Papa's family reunion so we can see everyone one last time. And I want to be like, well, honey, a Papa really wants to see like how his kin are doing, honey. Get him an OnlyFans account. He can really see what his family has done in their name, in his name, before he dies. I love that. So the pretty sister and Libby starts like really arguing. Okay, Jen, is that which one it is? No. Becca? I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you so much for this super chat. I'm doing so badly at their names. First of all, thank you so much, Marianne. You are so sweet, and I really, really appreciate it. Truly, thank you so much. Okay, so Marianne, yeah, I love you. I appreciate your support always. Also, Adelina, I've never seen your name before. Great, I'm so happy you're here too, baby boo. Okay, what is either one of their names? But the pretty one and Libby get in a fight, right? And it's like horrible and like fake and like scripted. And then Libby just starts being like, you think you're so rich. You're like, what? Go back to your rich husband, like, meanwhile, like what? That she has always like pretended to be rich at the same time suspect, right? Because anyone who like pretends to be rich or anyone who pretends to be smart are never smart, never rich. I mean, people that flaunt, I guess Floyd Mayweather, I love that I called him Merriweather. And, that's only because I watched so much Sleeping Beauty growing up, is rich. I guess he does flaunt as well. But like, it's just, yeah, like, truly the richest people kind of like keep it on the DL to me, I guess, or what I found. I love this, like, you've married a rich husband and she's like mad at her about that, but like you act rich and you're not. It makes me feel like, why are you no longer rich? Was he once rich? He's no longer rich. Is she talking about the fact that she made it seem like her husband was better than Andre, but now like Andre is in America and hotter than the other girl's husband? I just like want to know. So funny. Did you see Jen's DJ ex-husband? He's known in the Tampa area. Her kids never show. I think he keeps them off. No, I have not deep dived into Libby's family. Like, I barely like knew that they had arrest photos. they're off-putting to me, and I can't see myself investing energy on caring or knowing about them. Sometimes when people are so trashy, it like takes away from my soul. It like drains me having to deal with their trashiness. Is that true to anyone else? And I don't know what makes it different from other people, because it isn't like all trashy people, it's certain trashy people. Sometimes trashy people are like early stages of Angela, are like still warm or jovial or fun enough that like I'm into it. And I'm using the word trashy, and I don't mean like a certain economic or class level, I guess, because, you know, I don't know what Libby is. I don't know how much money she's supposed to have. I don't know how much money her family is supposed to have. Because we're supposed to believe that they're in fact very rich, right? It feels like on the boat and like this, like the dad, like it feels like that we're supposed to be led to believe that they're doing quite well with the peasant food and everything like that. But in everything that we've seen, the way they act, the fact that they are like hungry AF on OnlyFans, like all of that begs the fact that they are in fact doing poorly. Not super financially stable. I can see there's just, yeah. I don't know how to keep talking about this. Okay. I don't want to talk about them. I hate them. Yara and Jovi. Okay, so Jovi has to go back to work. Yara now has to contend with that, and there's a hurricane coming. And she's never been a hurricane, honey, but you know who has? Gwen. And so Jovi wants, obviously, a ride to the airport, and that's from his mom. And then to take the baby, Mila, and Yara to the bayou, which sounds like still like low ground. I don't like, I mean, I wish you guys would have a house like in the mountains or something, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I understand how Louisiana works. To withstand the storm, literally. Now, they have to pack the car, and this is what's a little confusing to me, and so I don't quite understand this. Yara is like, I don't want my Dyson hair dryer, the most expensive dryer in the land, honey, to be in the car in the back. I know she wants it in the front. I'm just confused, like why the back would ruin it. Here's the thing. Don't have a Dyson hair dryer, but yes, I did just get the Dyson Air Styler, honey. And I mean, if you don't know this about me, I'll just like tangent, is that I got the Dyson Air Styler during the 20% off sale at Sephora, and it was a special edition with a travel bag. I love it. I love it. Now, having said that, it doesn't last. Like, this is me using it. Got out of the shower, let my hair air dry, and then I just use it all over. And it was really super curly at first. Like, I put a little like dry mist in, but then that's it. And as you see, it's now just kind of like a fluffy blowout. It comes with a case, this really beautiful Dyson case. And so this whole story brings it back to, she has a beautiful Dyson case with it. And doesn't the hairdryer come with some sort of like travel case and or like hard case? What's going to ruin it back there? Is it the formula? I'm not quite sure. So another whole thing is this. You know, I stand Yara, but I will say this about Yara. Yara just keeps complaining about Jovi's job. Jovi has an unconventional job, is true, which is that he's gone for weeks at a time, and in the COVID situation, even more because of the whole pandemic thing. She's just so upset that he has to go to work and just keeps complaining about it. And I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't understand why she thinks that he doesn't have to work, or they can just somehow afford not working. Or if she thought that if she had a baby in America that he wouldn't work for a year. Was that not a conversation? She's very upset though, and she's very snappy about it. Like on the way to the airport, like, I don't want you to leave. I don't want to, like, well, okay, he's also, okay, yes, Yara, you don't want him to leave, but honey, he's too late. He has a flight to catch, and Gwen's trying really hard. I feel bad. This is the part where I'm gonna talk about Yara, this wasn't a good look. Gwen feels bad. She's like, Yara, I'm so sorry, but I'm here for you. I want to make your life easier. I know this is not ideal, but I do understand, because I was a single mom. And she's like, you don't understand. We're in different countries. Like, okay, yes, I was in a different country, but Gwen is really coming from a place that is like, look, I know this isn't ideal. The hurricanes are coming. You have no one. But let's just get through. I want to make your life as comfortable as possible. Which is obviously the opposite of Trish, who's just I want to make Natalie your life as painful, as awkward as until you just leave this world, leave my son, which is partly why Mike has brought you here. Mike brought you here so I would make you leave without him having to make you leave. Did Mara meet up with him for vacation, think that was the life was going to be? Yeah. I don't understand why Yara doesn't understand how people have to work. She seems so wise in every other way. Plus, she seems like she wants things. I want to be girl, oh, you bought a Dyson hairdryer? God bless. I get it. How are you gonna buy other Dyson hairdryers? I mean, I don't know how you're gonna buy other things. How are you? I mean, this person is working. But all these people, God bless, this person has a job. Anyway. Allegedly collect app fees, rented homes not in his name, horrible charges. They all are wannabes. Oh, I can't wait. You're talking about that family. Family to Libby. Oh, a nurse named Purple Kisses. Super sticker. Hello, my love. Thank you so much for that super sticker. Hey, Purple Kisses. How are you? How has your week been? I appreciate you so much coming and sharing some time with me. Still remember your name when it was Kingdom Purple Kisses or whatever. I like a nurse named Purple Kisses. God bless you. Thank you so much for not only the super chat, but obviously the work you do, honey. And also, would you say a nurse named Purple Kisses? Angela is in the medical field, right? Okay. She's not a nurse, I don't think. I think that she is a home healthcare worker of some kind, or she might be a nurse. I'm not quite sure. You tell me. How? She has to know that with surgeries, that the smoking thing would be bad, right? That's what I want to ask you, a nurse, or anyone else that would know this question. She very much was I never heard this in my whole life, and nursing, or whatever. She didn't say nursing, but it's come on, really? Probably a home health aide. Yeah, I think so too. The vacuum company, yes. Dyson makes hair products, They have a hair dryer. They have the air styler, which also has a little mini hair dryer, which is why I think it was great. And I think they came out with a straightener. They need to equate things to money, like the Gucci bag would cost us if you were power. Okay. Certified nurse's assistant, CTA maybe? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Angela, I'm sure she was lying about not knowing about the smoking thing. I'm sure it was explained to her. Of course. Yeah, of course. Okay, Brandon and Julia. So this is also boring. Just it's boring. I don't know what to tell you. But at least Betty's back. So they're like, oh my God, you got a letter. Yay. And the letter is a green card. No, it's just that you can start working now. She's like, okay, great. Then they're like, okay, guys. So even though the pandemic's really not over, let's throw a party. Let's throw your wedding. And they're like, no, we're cool. And the concept is if they throw their wedding and they have to use that money, then they are going to be out of the house even later. And also that also means that Betty will have even more things to Betty in about. And Julia's over it, and so she's like, I don't want it to happen. And they're like, come on, we just, you really need a song to dance to. You don't even have a song. We have a song, me and Ron, and every time, we hear it, it just means so much, and it's what song is their song, and I want it to be I said face down as that's the way we like to fuck. I said face, that's not their song, but I feel like it is. I want to have like, whatever song I have with someone, like, oh, sure, like so Stevie Wonder song or something. And then I also want to have like our Dem song. Oh, thank you so much, Jane. Ooh, some pounds. I appreciate that, Jane. That's so nice. Thank you. That's really, really lovely. Their prom is super freak. I love you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Ooh, okay. So, basically, like, they're like, we don't want to have a party. We're good. We have laser focus on this whole like making money thing and like work thing. And Betty's like, oh, okay, well, just be a really small something. And don't worry, we'll respect your wishes. And like Brandon's like, then respect our wishes and don't throw us something. And Betty and Ron are like, oh. So like that's that. That's them. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Julie's like, it's a conspiracy theory so that like Betty will keep us underneath her thumb. And at this point, it's like I would rather see Betty in every scene than a non-Betty. It's just Brandon is not enough for me. Okay, so that's how I feel about that. Sorry, with a big prolonged pause as I like really let that that last bit like mull over. I'm like, that is how I feel. That's how I feel about the whole episode. We'll see what happens next episode, which is supposedly Angela's last cigarette. Like we're supposed to believe that Angela stopped smoking. Like we don't have brains in our head, honey. No. Okay, we're good. Okay, no. Thanks, TLC, for that one. All right. So, I don't know what to tell you other than obviously the thing I care about mostly, Mike and Natalie looks great for next week, which is that exactly what I said happens. That under Trish's roof, Mike and Trish get Natalie to leave. And Trish tells Mike, just give her $5,000 and let her go back home. I love TLC. I just love the storyline. I'm like, I could watch it the whole time. It's so dramatic. I might just have to fast forward like most of the families. Did I even talk about Asuelu? Did I talk about Asuelu and Kalani? No, I don't even care about them. Kalani and Asuelu gets in a car accident, honey. Gets in a car accident, which is sad. It looks bad. Not like crazy. Not like I feel like his life was literally at death's door, but enough where he was jolted, and he was also driving for Lyft. That was obvious. And so under this death-defying experience, Kalani realizes that she can't live without him, honey. She wants to be with him. So, I mean, good for them. Because, we also learned that Lowe's on the hook. So, and doesn't support her divorce, so. I don't know what to tell you. Just Kalani and Tiffany look at each other and they're like, that girl's dumb. I don't know. Because they could I keep saying they could be best friends, but maybe they would also be like mortal enemies because they see. Okay. That's it. That's all I have to say. We'll see what happens next week. I love you guys so much. I drink too much coffee. And this eye is, you see it? Twitching. You guys ever do that? Oh no, now it's not doing it. It's out here. It's like I have like one thing that's like. So I have to go, I don't know, like get a little piece of ice or like get a spoon, put in the freezer and just like calm it down. Just be like, don't worry, little eye. Well, I'm so sorry that I drank so much caffeine. I worked out. Tired. Maybe that's it. Okay. I would like to see Brandon wearing Betty's dress. You know who's seen that a lot? Ron. Kalani. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I don't know why I don't care about this. Yes, Asuelu's like, oh, here's a romantic thing, Kalani. Let's go on like a romantic, 2 or 3 night bone fest. She's like, cool, cool, cool. Let's totally do that. And what a great idea. I got to bring my mom and the kids because, I'm like breastfeeding. Can't you just like get some in reserves and like pump and dump a little bit like while you're on vacation? I mean, if your mom's going to like take care of them kids and you're not going to see them, she can take care of them kids there. I mean, I don't know about breastfeeding because I've never breastfed as much, but from what I don't know like how much milk she's making. I assume that she can maybe just like get some stored and then keep, pumping and dumping while she's on the vacation to not like stop her flow. But you tell me. Tell me in a comment. I love you guys. Okay, so truly, thank you so much for being here, being with me. I'm into it, truly into it. I try and post in my private Facebook group, Vanity Farah, when I'm going to go live and or ask when you guys are free for me to go live. And so if you are on that book that is Face and you want to join, it's Vanity Farah. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. And other than that, Thursday, I'm going to go on Wa's channel at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our pop culture recap show, Say What? With Chris and Wa. And I just appreciate you guys. Please like this video. Please just thumbs up this video if you haven't yet. If you haven't just been hearing me talk and been like chuckering this whole time. Chuckering is a word. Chuckering is like chuckling, and chuckering is like maybe if you're chuckling while playing polo, a chucker, is like there's 4 chuckers. Anyway, if you've just been chuckering at this, please just like tickle that algorithm for me. Just give it a little something by thumbsing up this video, by liking it, by being like, this girl knows what she's talking about. Yes, she talks very fast and often slurs her words and says like entirely too much. But I like her. Anyway, other than that, thank you. Baby boos. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe and make art. All right? And have a great one. I love you. I love my mods. Thank you for my super chats. Have a great Monday. Bye, baby boos. I said bye, baby boos.